I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to get started on Design Center, and it's in BoldTrail, and we're going to go over what it does. So basically, I know there's talks of how we're going to partner up with Canva and the whole thing with like how we're going to create different, like maybe different flyers and all the different designs. And what we're going to go over in Design Center may not be so flashy and so customizable. But the thing is, before you get started in, like, let's say purchasing, Canva, this is what we have, and it's very simple, but you can use it, and it's very consistent, it's on brand, it's not like going to be so flashy. So what I want you guys to think about is, instead of thinking about all the, if you have it, that's great. If you have Canva and you can do everything, that's great. But let's work with what we have and have a system that's going to be consistent and that is going to be accessible for you. And if you can understand this, then really you don't really need anything else until you are comfortable with setting up a system that works for you with Bold Trail. And let's just use it. That's all you need to do, is to just kind of get a system going so that you have something, instead of, figuring out how you're going to use this and that, and you're buying this app and that. Before that, let's work with what we have. And if you have a listing, if you have an open house, you want to do some social media, you got, permission from the listing agent to do some, promotion. This is where we're going, because, we don't have, I mean, I did classes on, I did one class on, Canva 101. So there's tons of things that you can use. And if you're good at that, go ahead and use it. But if you don't know, instead of spending the money, let's go with what we have that's free for us, and just set up a system where you can get your information out there, you can get yourself out there, and have that system work for you. The one thing that I really do want to stress is that I do have agents that come and say, "Oh, I got a new listing and I'm going to do this and do this and that," and none of my system Bold Trail is working. It could be because you didn't set up your profile. And that's really one of the first things you need to do. And it takes time. Like if you're using NJMLS, you need a IDX form that you have to sign off on, and your manager has to sign off. So it can't be something that you never worked on, you never opened it, and all of a sudden you're trying to use it and it's not working. This is what you need to do to before you start anything. So you go into MaxTag, and you go into your profile and make sure. I do have in our one of our Tuesday masterminds, it's a profile check mastermind, and basically it goes over step by step what you need to do. Like, you should have your bio on there, you should talk about what areas you cover, and the most important thing, which I'm going to briefly go over, because again, a lot of people are missing this step and they feel very frustrated with the system. Now, I'm not saying it's the perfect system, but but if you want to start using it, you have to do the profile. So you go into Mac Center and you go right where it says has your photo or your name, and you do update profile. You know that red circle is kind of covering it, but it says update profile, and that will filter into all of your KV core or like Bold Trail things. The most important thing, do the profile overview. I will go step by step, general info, contact info, your photo, all of that should be in here. But I'm going to point out two really important steps. Is number one, it's the professional detail. Make sure your license number is there. Okay, so that's really critical. Okay, so make sure you put that in, and you just use that edit button where has that little pencil, and your MLS affiliation. That's also going to be very important, because if they don't have that, it's not really connecting to your MLS, okay? And then you're not going to have access. And again, for those of you guys who are in NJMLS, I'm not sure exactly about the other places. You have to do a separate form, and you have to go through like BoldTrail, that the BoldTrail creates a form for your manager and you to sign, and you have to know your website name, and so that takes time because you may not know what your website name is, so make sure you are taking the time to do that profile, okay, and putting all of your MLS numbers in there. Okay, and then once you get into Bold Trail, I also go and check my profile there as well. It's supposed to feed over from Mac Center, but I always go in and check to make sure all my information is correct. And there is a section there where I'm going to tell you again, your MLS number, ID number should be popping up. Okay, whatever MLS you belong to, it should be on there. So you're going to go and do that edit profile and make sure all of that information is in there. So that's going to be critical in connecting to the MLSs so that they can get the information to create these assets. All right, so once you get into Bold Trail, we come to this dashboard, and right on the left side, you'll see marketing. And in that marketing section, there's a bunch of things that we have, the social media, the present. We went all over a lot of these things, but there's something called the Design Center, and that's what we're going into. Now, what's in Design Center? So there's print media, there's social media, there's video, and there's website. So just to break it down, those are the things that I'm going to cover. You may not have huge templates in some of them, and I'll show you some of the stuff, but it's really great if you don't have a marketing person that's working on your thing, or you don't have like, let's say 12 listings or 20 listings that you have somebody doing this for you, or you kind of know how to do it right off the bat. But these are the things that are there. Maybe you're doing an open house flyer for, and it's not your listing. Again, you can use all of that and you can create something here for you. So in the print media, these are the things that they provide. It's flyer, there's postcard design, there's brochures, and there's door hangers. I would say the door hangers, I'm not going to really go over because there's, I think, only two templates. Okay. But the flyers and postcard designs and brochures are very cool. If you do have a new listing and you want to put it on there, or there's different postcard designs, you can go there and kind of design something for yourself, and it links up to Express Docs, which is one of our vendors, and it takes you to Express Docs, and then you can pay for it. They're gonna go over the steps. I do have to say, like when I've used Express Docs before, when you're doing print media, when you go into Express Docs, and let's say you're thinking about doing a postcard for your listing or just sold, you can use that. And when you go into Express Docs and you go to the end where you're going to send it, they have that option where you can choose like where it's gonna go. So you can actually put in an address that you want to target. Let's say I sold something at 123 Main Street, I'm gonna put that 123 Main Street where I sold it, and it'll tell you, do you want us to mail it for you? And you say yes, and then it gives you like a radius. So they'll choose the streets. And let's say they ask you how many do you want to do, like 50 or 100. Then they do a radius around it. And some streets that are smaller will have like maybe 10 will go out. Larger streets will 12, 15, 20 will go out. And they actually pick it, and you can send it around there. Or you can do it, they ask you by street name, and they have street names on there. And you can do like maybe 4 street names that you're very familiar with that you want to target. Or you can actually upload your list and they can send it out for you. So it's kind of cool that Express Docs has that feature. I would say they're not the cheapest. Like if you're doing like thousand, postcard, maybe you use a local vendor and might be much cheaper. But I don't know if they have that setup where, they come and give you like maybe the mailing list, and then you can kind of target it. So that's something cool that about Express Docs that's connected to our print media things. All right, in the social media, there's the main feed, and there's Square, Story, and email signature. Again, I'm going to say the email signature only has like maybe 2 designs, so I'm not really going to go over that, but I'll show you some of the social media things that you can use. And in the content, there are different contents that you could do. The most that I'm going to highlight today, I think for you guys, it's going to be the promotion. And what that does is it may not be your listing, but any kind of property promotion you want to do, that's where I'm going. And if your profiles and the MLS and the IDs are properly set up, you can use it for any property because I don't have any listings, but I'm going to use a really nice listing that I looked up and I'll show you how it works. They have lead generation things, market updates. It's blank, templates that you can put your information on. I would, just play around with it and go into each one. Not not every category is going to have a ton of things. Like age and highlight, I think there's two things, but you can kind of put your short bio on there and kind of have it as something for you to take when you're doing a presentation and just say, hey, this is kind of like my highlights and and it has like a section where you can just copy and paste like maybe your bio. It's so again, it doesn't have a whole lot, but if you go in there and you can take a look, it's very interesting what you can find. Okay, so before we get started on the live demo, any questions on that? Sometimes I know I talk very fast. So, okay, let me see. All right, so here we are. Scroll down to Design Center. So another tip that I want to tell you, like right here off to the side. So these are the categories that we went over, but right here, like let's say if I go into print media. Right here off to the side, I know it only has two things. Just wait. Because some people, even me, I went in there and I'm like, what? Only two things? How much? Like, I got a little bit, where am I going? But you see how it populated and gave you like the content category and different styles. I would just not click on any of the styles and, whatever. Just look at all the templates that are there. It's not a ton of templates, so you can do that. But remember, I said these are the categories. So I'm going to go into listing promotion. Okay. So when it does the listing promotion or the property promotion, it kind of changes up the templates and you'll see that it's really based on a property. So you'll see property photos. So another tip that I want to give you is that there are 24 designs, but people think like, oh, there's not really much in there. You just have to go into the view all, okay? Or you can just use the arrow and you can see the different types. Okay, but I'm going to do view all on the flyer. And let's say we're going to stick with, let's say, the dynamic. Okay, so I picked a template and then right here, it'll ask you for the MLS number. So I actually did practice run and it populates. So give it some time and then you see how this address populated. And sometimes you click on it and it disappears. Okay, but just do it again. And this is the template. It's a two-page flyer. Wait, is it a two-page flyer? Yes. Okay. I chose this listing because it was so colorful, guys. It's such a pretty listing and it had really nice photos. So another disclaimer is that, sometimes pictures do make a huge difference. If you don't have nice pictures, it won't look as nice. So if like, let's say the format is a little bit off or like, you're choosing like maybe the portrait and maybe it was like a cell phone photo, then you're going to see that it looks a little bit wonky, but the professional ones that were done does fit in very, very nicely. You can, where you see if you hover around the photos, if you choose that little pencil mark and you swap pictures or swap images, and again, it works because you're connected to the MLS, right? So this is all the photos in the MLS. It's beautiful. So I may choose, let's say this, insert file, and then it changes it. Okay. And you can just go into like here, can make it bigger, can make it smaller, and you can change the wording here as well. Like let's say you wanted to do a open house and then you can do open house. Okay. Or maybe you don't want to put the price upon request. So you can it'll tell you if you're out of space. Sometimes I wrote something like a lot of stuff and then it started, giving me a red thing, but you can modify some things. Now you go up to the top and I'm going to choose page 2 and here are the extra photos. Okay. And right here, you see the description. It only has a certain amount and it will come over from the MLS. So you see how it kind of like cuts off. So just be mindful of that and just make sure you're cutting it off at a period or something and or it makes sense. Okay. So that's kind of like how the flyers work, okay? And you can right here create a QR code. Click on that and it'll tell you like it'll say search up a website. So I'm putting my website on there because who knows, I maybe I want someone to, look at it. And you see how I randomly put it right on the flyer. So, oops. I'm just going to put it right here and you could use the corners to make it smaller. And that way, if they are searching, they'll go to your website. And then after a couple of searches on your website, it would collect, like it would say like, hey, sign in. And it is a lead generating website. And when they're forced to sign in, that you capture their information. It goes on to your BoldTrail CRM. Okay. Another thing I want to show you is, let's say I get rid of this. Let's see if it'll go away. Okay, I get rid of this. And I am doing an open house, so I'm co-listing with another agent. So I go into co-agent. And I believe they have to be in your office. So I just picked somebody from my office. Maybe not. It's someone from our company. Okay. And if I add her on there, see, cool beans, right? So her information comes up. Again, I would do due diligence and make sure, like, I don't like right here where it says Remax Select Properties and Remax Select because I think it says it twice and I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay. So just make sure your information is correct. It is coming in. Some things you can't change, some things you can. And then from there, you do right here at your action, you either download it and you save it for emailing and printing in-house and then download, okay? And then you have it as a PDF, okay? So look what it looks really nice. Again, I think the photos help that it's on there, that it's a very nicely done photo, okay? So that's how the flyers work, okay? It's unsaved. You can save it and go back to it if you want. But like I said, you should do like view all and look at all the different, just be mindful. Some of the nice templates are commercial. And I was like, I'll just use it, but it says Remax commercial on it. So don't use it. Okay. So that's kind of the flyer part. So if you're in a rush, and you have an open house, this is where I would go. Okay. And again, when your profile is set up, you can use some of that stuff. Here's the postcard design and here's the brochure. I wouldn't do the brochure if you're printing it in-house. It doesn't look nice. So if you're doing like a brochure, make sure either you're getting it done nicely in a little bit hard stock or better quality photo. And these are the door hangers. All right, on to social media. Okay, so I'm going into social media. Again, this whole part disappears on the left side. I'm going to wait until it populates and then I'm going to choose listing promotion because that's what I'm going to do. There are like other things like tips for first time buyers. So I would take a look and those are things that you can put on social media as well. But so I would just kind of look around, but I'm doing the listing promotion again, and then it takes away the other things that you can use, and so main feed is going to be more of the horizontal design. I would say that's more for like let's say Facebook. But a lot of times we're doing the square design. The square design is nice because it actually fits into Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So it kind of is like a universal dimension. And then the story design is like for your story, it's like maybe a one timer, like, the story goes on. And so it's a little bit longer and elongated. So there's not, I guess, not that many templates here. Okay, so I'm going to go into the square design. I'm going to do view all. Okay, and you just take a look and see which one you like. Okay, and just let's say choose one. Okay, so maybe I do this one. I'm going to choose the MLS number again, let it populate. And again, it has all the information that you want on there. Remember, this is just the social media. There's no page two. You don't want a whole bunch of information on social media. They're looking at it for like, 5 seconds. All right. So it doesn't have to be so crazy. And right here, again, swap, and you can choose, like, let's say, if I wanted to choose maybe the kitchen, you can do that. All right. And again, you can use the QR code, but you can, they're on the phone and it doesn't have your photo on there. And then you just download it or you share it on social media. But I think it's limited to where you can, oh, look, you have to be connected. It'll ask you to connect it. Okay, but I usually download it and then upload it myself, and I'll have like stickers on there. I'll put like, come see me on my open house or my new listing. You put text on it and then you share it. Okay. Any questions on that? If you do it a couple of times, it becomes very easy. All right, so the video, I'm going to the video section because I do think it's kind of cool. And there's only one on there. Okay, so you go here. And again, same thing. Let's see if it will let me. There we go. And it takes all the photos that it has, and you can actually hide it if you don't want some of them, if it's like too many. And you can change it as well, like this. And you could add music. You can do play music and select. The only thing is, I don't really know how to listen to it. So I just picked the random one. So let's say here, they're all kind of going to be vanilla music. Like it's going to be like, it's all going to match. It's not going to be like crazy music. And you do the generate video and it'll say, hey, it's processing and it'll get sent to your email. So I did it last night. So I wanted to show you because I think it's really nice. Cute, right? I think I picked a good song. All right. So
Hey
this is two
Mary,
minutes. Yeah.
are you playing the music because we don't hear it? We just see the
Oh,
video.
it was playing the music. So I
Oh,
guess
okay.
it when
It's
I'm
when you
speaking.
first share your
Yeah.
screen, you have to say
I
share music too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was like shaking my body for no reason because I was listening to the song and I was like, hey, this is a cute song. Okay, so you'll try it. So it does come later. So again, if you're like doing it last minute, then don't do it. It's gonna take time, I did it and I went to sleep, so I don't know exactly how long it takes. But it does come, I would say like maybe 30-40 minutes, but give it a try and you can put that on there. I thought it was really, really cool. All right, so you generate the video, they email it and I just saved it and that's how I did that one. Okay. So here it's hard to know like what how do I get back? Let me go back. There we go. All right, so the last thing I'm going to cover is the website. Do you guys see the website section? Just because I did the back.
We're still at the property side design. Oh, we see website. We haven't
Okay,
clicked on
perfect.
it yet.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now we're going to go here again. And then, so it's really the same format. You just do the thing here and you click on it. And really, the website is just there to kind of store your photo, and kind of have it as a landing page with your information. So if you're posting it somewhere online, because Instagram doesn't allow links anyway, but if like you're putting it on Facebook, you can do that. If let's say, you're doing an open house and you want to kind of show them that this is the rest of the photo, let me send you that, and then you can do a QR code, or you can put it on the open house section, anything like that where it requires a link to see all the videos, or I mean see all the photos for that property. You can use it there. Okay, and if you go all the way at the bottom, let me move this. It'll say save and view website. And obviously you can share the link. Okay. And let me share the link, copy the link. Then I go here, show you guys what it looks like. And this is what it looks like. And if you do the view gallery, it shows you all the photos. It's a really nice feature. You don't have like a ton of different template, but it's all branded around you, right? And if they say like, oh, give me more, it's lead generating, give me your information, it goes to BoldTrail and, it'll be into your CRM. It'll go into your CRM. So really nice assets. Again, you're not doing crazy things on here, like maybe some like you can do in Canva, but Hey, all the basics are there and it looks pretty nice to me. The videos look nice. The website is nice. You just ha like I said in the beginning, you have some kind of system going. That's what you have to do to make sure that you know how to use these systems. And once you do have a listing or an open house, you're putting yourself out there and in social media or having a flyer. They're not looking at, oh, this font is terrible. Like they're not looking at that. They just want the basic information, and you're just putting your information in case they want to contact you, and the information is there. Okay. The description, yeah, it's a little, again, you can I just I'm lazy in some ways, so I just let whatever the description comes in from the MLS, let it be. But if you wanted to, because it has only a certain amount of characters that you're allowed, you could get rid of a bunch and then make the font actually bigger. Okay. And so you could even just create like your own bullet points on there. So you can definitely customize the description part on there. But like sometimes, like if it comes in from MLS feed, I just let it be because sometimes I'm lazy in that sense. Like I just let the system do the job, right? But if you're not happy about it, for sure, you can modify it. Any other questions? Okay, great. So I hope you guys use it, practice it. So again, it's the same thing. Pick a template, put the listing, MLS number on there. Or actually, I didn't show you, but actually, when I started typing in the address, it did populate as well. Um, but it's you can use that, and why not? It's free for you guys, and there you go. All right, you guys.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank